Okay. So good evening everyone, I'm Claire Ritchie, Development Officer for Woodcraft Folk. Thank you for joining our webinar this evening on the role of the District Membership Secretary. In a moment I'm going to hand over to Leanne Powell, our UK Membership and Groups Officer, for the presentation. First, just to say that you've all been muted to maximise sound quality during the webinar, but if any of you have any questions during the presentation for Leanne, just let me know via the chat function by typing to Organiser, and I'll unmute you so that you can ask your questions. So I think that's everything I need to say, so I'll pass over to Leanne. Thanks, Leanne.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Leanne Powell and I'm the Membership and Groups Officer here at Folk Office. This is the Membership Secretary webinar. The aim of this session is to identify the main responsibilities of the Membership Secretary role and explain more detail how you support them. Okay. So the main responsibilities of the Membership Secretary role are: be up to date on Woodcraft Folk policy, like the safeguarding policy, vetting procedures policy, data protection and membership screening. All of these policies are available for download on the website in the About section. Identifying which volunteers need to be members and supporting them to apply for membership. Requesting references for volunteers applying for membership. Supporting volunteers to complete either a DBS or PVG application, witnessing their identity documents and verifying their applications both on paper and online. Chasing up new members to renew their membership annually, and using the online Woodcraft Folk database to provide membership reports for your records and the district. The next few slides will look at the main responsibilities of the Membership Secretary role in more detail, starting with who can become a Woodcraft Folk member and who in a district needs to have a DBS or PVG. So the first slide is who can become a volunteer member. All active volunteers who regularly help out at group nights or attend overnight stays. We define regular to be more than once a month. DFs are 16 to 20-year-olds. DFs should be encouraged to become members as their groups do not pay for annual group registration. Our under 16s, though not required to become members of Woodcraft Folk, they can apply for membership free of charge. Under 16 membership forms can be found on our website for download. And finally, supporters of Woodcraft Folk can also apply to be Friends of the Folk members, making an annual donation but not actively helping out in the group. Who needs to have a DBS or PVG? I should point out now that both the DBS and PVG are criminal record checks. The Disclosure and Barring Service, also known as the DBS, operates in England and Wales. The PVG scheme operates in Scotland and is run by Disclosure Scotland. Members who need a DBS or PVG are all active volunteers who regularly help out at group nights or attend overnight stays. Group and district office holders who have additional level of responsibility in a district have access to sensitive and confidential information and sometimes charitable funds. DFs who are taking on a role of responsibility at camp or group night. DFs who are only attending events as participants do not need to have a disclosure. I'd like to add, in England only, there is a possibility that a volunteer can be a supervised member and not be required to complete a DBS. I will go through this later in the session. Once you've identified a volunteer that needs to become a member, you will need to support them with the process. They can apply either by paper or online. Okay. Apply for membership. Paper membership forms. Paper forms are available for download on our website, or copies can be requested from me at Folk Office. When your new volunteer applies for membership using a paper form, your role is to ensure that 1, the form is completed correctly, 2, referee contact details are provided, and 3, you complete the Membership Secretary section confirming they're members of the district. You need to either give them a paper PVG form to complete or signpost them to complete an online DBS application at this point. All forms need to be returned to Folk Office with payment. If no payment is enclosed, the membership form will be returned to the applicant by Folk Office. Okay, so moving on to online membership. Online membership is really simple. Volunteers just click the join button on our website homepage and are taken through the sign-up process step by step. When a new member applies online, I'm notified here at Folk Office and will respond with a thank you email reminding them to complete a DBS or PVG if applicable. Your role in the online membership procedures is to periodically pull off a new members report from the membership database and contact members who have joined online requesting the referee contact details so references can be sought. Okay, so we're looking at seeking references now, which is the next stage of the membership procedure. Once a volunteer's application for membership has been submitted, you will need to contact their referee to provide references in support of the application. References are an important part of our vetting procedures because unlike criminal record checks, they describe a volunteer's suitability to work with children, whereas a disclosure only tells us if they have a conviction, warning or caution. 2 references must be sought for all your new members and should be part of your membership procedure. Requesting a reference. This is how you can go about doing that. Okay. Using the referee contact information you've been provided, you must request either a written, verbal or electronic reference. Standard templates are available to use in the membership secretary area on the website. References can be sought from doctors, teachers, colleagues, friends or volunteer placements. To keep up good practice, we ask that a minimum of one of the referees be a non-Woodcraft Bank member. You may sometimes need to chase up referees for any that are delayed. Once you have received the references, please notify me at Folk Office by completing a reference notification form and return to me by email or post. Notification forms are available on our website. Please ensure that all references are kept confidentially in line with our policies. Okay, so we're going to move on to the disclosure process. Okay, so we're going to start with DBS first. As you all know, all our DBS applications are applied for and processed online. Please signpost your members to this link, which you can see on the second point, to complete a DBS online. You will need to inform them of the organisation PIN, which is unique for each district. A full list of PINs is available at the link I just mentioned above. In addition, they will also need the secret word, which is ICAMP. This is lowercase, no spaces, to create an application. Once an applicant submits their application, you'll be notified by email. This is the point which you should get in contact with them to arrange a time to meet up and witness their identity documents they specified in their application. The ID needs to be witnessed in person and in accordance with the rules as set out by the Disclosure and Barring Service. Full details can be found in the DBS online guidance. Once you have witnessed the documents, you will need to input the relevant information into the online DBS system. This is called the verification process, and a step-by-step guide is available in the DBS online guidance. One of the main reasons we moved to DBS online was so membership secretaries no longer had to witness DBS certificates. The online system notifies Folk Office directly of all DBS certificate information and whether there are any convictions listed. Only if a conviction is listed will we ask that you witness the certificate and send us this information. We're going to look at the update service next, which is only in England and Wales. Okay, the update service. In England and Wales, only the DBS offer a portability system called the update service. It was introduced in 2013 as an online subscription service that keeps DBS certificates up to date so they can be used by other organisations. Whilst an application is in process, the applicant can subscribe to the update service, which is free for volunteers. Subscribing to the update service means when an applicant uses their DBS certificate with another organisation, that organisation can run an online check to see whether their criminal record has been changed since the certificate was issued. So the update service works with Woodcraft Folk in two ways. The first way is members applying for a DBS with Woodcraft Folk, either as a renewal or for the first time. Firstly, volunteers who are applying for a DBS with us can request that Woodcraft Folk opt them in to the scheme. Members can opt in via their membership form or by ticking the relevant boxes on their online renewal. Opting into the update service means that when a member's DBS is due for renewal, which is every 3 years, we can run the online check with their permission instead of requesting they complete a new DBS application. Members can give their permission for this check to be automatic if they wish via the opt-in form. Okay, so the next one is members who have a certificate applied for with another organisation. Volunteers who have a DBS certificate processed by another company can use this with Woodcraft Folk as long as they subscribe to the update service. In order for us to run the online check, we'll need you to witness the physical DBS certificate and complete the update service check form, which is available on our website. Okay, so the next step is the supervised member. Okay, so I mentioned this, I think, on my first slide about members who are working in a group but don't necessarily have to have a DBS. Okay, the supervised member. Earlier in the session, I mentioned the possibility of volunteers not completing a DBS application and instead electing themselves to be a supervised member. To work out if a volunteer can be a supervised member, you'll need to ask the following questions. 1. Will they be providing one-to-one care or supervision of children? 2. Will they be attending overnight stays? 3. Do they have an appointed Woodcraft Folk member with DBS and PVG who is happy to supervise them? If they answer no to questions 1 and 2 and there is an appointed supervisor, you must do the following. Notify Folk Office. Advise Folk Office that the volunteer is to be a supervised member and who their supervisor is. This can be done via the membership form or by email for existing members. Ensure the named supervisor is aware they must be present during all activities the supervised member is engaged in and does not engage in one-to-one supervision. The volunteer must complete a safeguarding declaration form. The volunteer is given a clear volunteering role and it's confirmed to them what is expected behaviour. I would say as well that they should also read all safeguarding policies so they're aware and up to date. So now we're going to move on to Scotland, supporting the PVG process. Scottish Membership Secretaries, this section is relevant to you. The PVG is a criminal record check for our Scottish members. We currently only operate a paper-based system for PVG. PVG application forms are available on request from Folk Office. There are 2 types of PVG application form. You'll need to identify which form your applicant will need to complete. The 2 types of forms are 1. The existing member of the PVG application. This form is for volunteers who have already applied to join the PVG scheme. This form is a request for a new certificate to be produced for Woodcraft Folk, and so our interests are noted on their PVG membership record. Or number 2, the application to join the PVG scheme. This form is to be used for all volunteers who are applying to the PVG scheme for the first time. Okay. Once the applicant has completed the form, you'll need to arrange a time to meet up with them to witness their identity documents in person. Photocopies of ID should not be accepted. You also need to check the form against the instructions provided, which are provided as an insert for each form. Please amend any mistakes and complete any missing fields. Once you're satisfied the form is completed properly, fill in Part E of the PVG form, noting the ID that you've witnessed, along with a cover sheet and Woodcraft Folk ID declaration form, which are all available on our website. Send all completed forms to Folk Office so that they can be countersigned and sent off to Disclosure Scotland for processing. The great thing about PVG is once an applicant signs up to the scheme, they do not need to renew with us, as Disclosure Scotland will tell us directly if there's been any change to the person's criminal record or whether they should cease working with children. Sorry. So that was really, really quicker than I thought. So that covers most of the detail about the membership and DBS process. I hope you found that useful. I just want to quickly go over the membership database. So firstly, the database is a great resource and I recommend all of us to use it, okay? All district membership secretaries have access to our membership database. So once you told me at head office that you are the membership secretary for the district, I will make a note on our records and that will automatically sign you up to the database and having access to it. To access the database, you'll need to log on to the Woodcraft Wake website and go to the Civi CRM tab. If you don't have a login for the website, please email me at the info address and I'll get that sorted out for you really simply. The main functions of the membership database are to produce membership and DBS reports. So for example, we have the membership secretary report, which is the complete report of your whole district. There's also different types of reports that you can look at, your lapsed member report and stuff similar to that. Okay, you can look up individual membership records and actually go in and change members' contact information. So someone tells you that they've changed address, for example. Okay, and you can look up the status of a member's membership and DBS. So you can look at individuals' membership and DBS expiry dates as well. Okay, so there's full instructions on how to use the database on our website, and you can see the link just there. There is also a webinar that I did a year or so ago that's also available that you can have a watch of as well. I just wanted to quickly touch on just chasing up renewals. I mentioned it's one of the main responsibilities on the first slide, and I didn't manage to do a slide for it. But basically, Wake Office send out renewals for membership to members every year, and we send it a month before their membership expiry date. So it gives them at least, 20 to 30 days to renew, and they're sent out by email. If we don't have an email address for a member, they're sent out by post. We also will, after 3 months of chasing by email, eventually send out a paper reminder in the post as well. So we do periodically do that, so members are chased up. But obviously we really appreciate your help in chasing up members that you know are active to renew their membership with us, and you can do that by using the database. And I think that's about it. And obviously you can renew the membership online. It's really simple to do. If they have a login, the website will take them through those steps. I think you may have all noticed on the website there's these new big 3 circles that say donate, join and renew. So it's really straightforward now. And they can also call us up and make a card payment over the phone, or they can fill in a form. There are renewal forms on the website. I know I've mentioned the website a lot, but everything that we discussed today is online. Use the search tab. It's brilliant. I know people find the website a bit clunky, but if you type in a name of a form that you know of, it should take you there in the green search box, which I think is on the right-hand side of the website. On my next screen, which is, thank you everyone for participating in my webinar, I've also put a few links there that I think are worth going to have a look if you are a membership secretary. So we've got the membership secretary area that has everything, safeguarding, obviously you've got to bear that in mind when doing membership. DBS Online for those in England and Wales. DBS Online is on the home page as well as a box that you can click, and I would signpost your members to that because it would take them through the steps, and it's also a good place for you to get the guidance if you're unsure. And obviously the training webinar, this one will be on at this link, as well as my webinar about the database. So that was quick. Any questions?
Thanks very much, Leanne. I think that was probably very, very helpful for people, and we'll just give them a couple of minutes to type into the chat function if they do have any questions. While we're waiting, I'll just mention that this webinar is part of a series of webinars for office bearers, which will all be available on the website at the address at the bottom of Leanne's list of web addresses there. So there's about 3 of them that are up there already for district office bearers, and there's this one and one more still to be uploaded, which will hopefully happen very soon, and then they'll be available for anyone to listen at any time. Doesn't look like we're getting lots of questions at the moment. I'll just give it a little minute more in case someone's typing. You've obviously been very clear, I think, Leanne.
I would like to ask a question if possible.
Great, Veronica, go for it.
Okay. I've been using the online DBS thing, which works really well, but I have a parent who applied online and now he is leaving to go to New Zealand, and so he doesn't want me to verify anything. Is there a way of deleting it once an application has been put up there, or does he have to do that?
I think when you go into the verification, when you click on his name to verify it, of that page that you're taken to, it says withdraw application or reject application. So if he doesn't want to go through with it, you can withdraw it. It will stay on your verification page, but you'll see where there's different icons. There will be an icon that has a red arrow saying he's withdrawing. Is that okay?
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Oh, just a sec. Yes, that's fine. Thank you. I'll look for that.
Okay. We're not seeing any more questions coming through at the moment. So obviously,
good evening, everyone. I know that was really quick.
It was concise, which is good. So yeah, obviously people can email you, can't they, Leanne, in future if they think of things in future that they're looking for support with. But yep, I will stop recording and close this off for tonight. So thanks very much, and good night, everybody.
Bye, thank you.
Bye, Leanne.